Hey guys, Adam aka askcsradical here, and thank you for checking out this episode of the VCR Podcast. For more content, you can visit our Instagram at vcr.podcast. If you are looking for a video version of this podcast, you can visit my YouTube channel at csradical. And if you are coming from the YouTube channel looking for an audio version of the podcast, you can check us out at anchor.fm/VCR Podcast for all available platforms. Thanks for checking us out, guys, and let's get on with the show.
You have entered the realm of the VCR Podcast with your host, Fish.
They're just bastardizing our childhood and the classics.
Chris.
Nintendogs drove me. It's what makes me want to hurt people.
Radical.
People in general still bitch about everything. It still doesn't change.
Let the podcast begin.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the VCR Podcast, the only podcast that creates stuff in the moment the title is spoken. Adam, aka askcsradical here, joining you guys. Obviously, Vish and Chris still here, another remote show, because, you know, it's not like anything's changing over a week's time as it is. How you guys doing today?
Fantastic. How you doing?
As good as you can at this situation, I guess.
Yeah, true. It's a long weekend, I guess.
Is it, though?
What he said.
Like, I
mean,
know that
technically
I'm
is.
still at work, so technically it's a long weekend, but for a lot of people, is it? And especially because it's Easter, but we're not celebrating Easter with a lot of our families because, at least in my case, it's just going to be me. It's going to be me and a Swanson TV dinner of turkey. That's about it.
Unfortunately, also, like with your new baby niece, like it's her first Easter and she's in quarantine.
Yeah,
Just like everybody else.
she's still way too young to really know.
Yeah, she won't even remember. For her, this is nothing.
Well, you're the only one I know who's actually going to work in outside of your house.
Yeah.
I know the highway to danger zone, as I call it.
Highway to the danger zone.
Wait, on the bingo card, does Chris sing?
That's going to be in our head all show, by the way.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's always in my head.
At least
That's
it's
how
a
I live
good
my
song,
life.
right? At least it's a good
true.
song. So with that being said, I'll kick us off here with our usual intro. So not too much different for me. Obviously, Trails of Cold Steel 3 is still going. I'm still hanging in the end of Chapter 3, I want to say, and I'm about 80, 85 hours in. And this game, from what I understand, is usually about 120, 140. So I still got a ways to go. I don't know specifically. I didn't look that far because I don't want to know where an end is in sight. So
Yeah, you never want to do that for a JRPG.
I will say though, like now that I'm in the point where I'm pretty deep in it, I do have one really big criticism that I'm starting to have and get really upset about with this game. So something this game has been doing the entire time in all three games so far is they try to put an emphasis on you're always not the strongest person. Now usually when games do that, they do it with one or two people. This game likes to do it almost every boss.
Every single person is not strong enough. Like everybody's weak.
Well, the idea is you're only a high school kid in a military school when you start the game. And even though now here in the third game, I'm now graduated. I've also become a big hero. I have this awesome Gundam type armor that I can use. I'm still nowhere near like top 100 by the looks of things. And normally, if you do it right, you only have to deal with this idea like maybe a few times. But almost every single human I face, if I face a monster, it's a different story. I'll beat the shit out of that monster. But if it's another human being, it's always another human being that's like 5 times stronger than me and is like Frieza in its first form.
What the fuck?
So a lot of the
Talk
times,
about an underdog story.
yeah, a lot of the times you'll fight, it won't even let you finish off the boss. It'll like at least now they're smart about it. They say, okay, your goal is to get this much of its health down, and then the battle will end. Usually in the first two games, you would take out all the boss's health, but then it would say that, oh, you only like scratch the person.
Jeez.
So as much as I still love the game, I can't lie now when I'm saying 3 games in, I'm really tired of fighting things that I'm apparently nowhere near strong against. So every time I think I'm doing really well, it turns out I wasn't even trying yet and just one-shots me. And I'm like, fuck.
I love that line in anime and games where it's like, I wasn't even using my true potential. It's like, what? Why even bother?
This isn't
having,
even my final form.
Like, why have different forms? Like, what's the point of that?
Well, the thing is, like, I've never seen Dragon Ball, but I always thought that thing where Frieza's like, "This is my final form." How does someone know what their final form is? Were they like pre-told, like, "Hey, this is what you're gonna look like. This is where you stop."
Well, I mean, if you've watched all the Dragon Ball at this point, I don't think even Goku does because he seems to find a new, better one every fucking 50 to 100 episodes.
Pretty sure he's just dyeing his hair at this point.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, there's Super Saiyan God, which is blue hair. There's Super Saiyan God Rose, which is pink. And then there's Super Saiyan... I don't know what the newest one is, but it's now silver hair. So I'm thinking, okay, at what point is it just going to be tie-dye? Or it's going to start having like streaks of different colors now because they've run out of colors?
Or his hair is just another Goku that fights alongside him?
Or finally, the ultimate form, his hair goes back to black again.
Oh, yep, that's the one. That's the one.
But yeah, like the game itself, like as I stand, I'm still loving the shit out of it. It's at the point now where I'm like, okay, can I have like one major boss battle that isn't me getting my shit pushed in again by the end of it?
Yeah.
Otherwise, obviously, if you've been watching the rest of the stuff on the YouTube channel, I took a crack at the Resident Evil 3 demo just to see what that was like.
I did enjoy that YouTube video.
So, I know you're not a big fan of horror in general. Like for me, I always look at Resident Evil more as a action series than as a what's it called? As a horror series. So I'm just wondering, like, aside from it being a horror series and I'm a big fan of it, how did you enjoy the game itself?
I didn't mind it. Like by the end of it, and I said it in the video, I would definitely pick this game up when it's at a lower price because, I mean, this isn't my genre to begin with, but I enjoyed my time with it enough that I think I could pull something from it. So if this was on for like $20 or if somehow it got put on PlayStation Plus for free, I would definitely take a look at it and go through it. It's just, again, it's just not the type of game that I would go out of my way for.
Or if somehow you knew two guys you could share a Steam library with who split on purchasing it after two of them are done.
Well, if you're going to let me freeload it, then that's an easy answer, isn't it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Just install it and play it.
But in the time that I spent with it, like I didn't hate it. I found myself getting frustrated because every like tendency and knowledge of shooters in general is just destroyed because a zombie who is supposed to be a rotting human, one shot to the brain isn't the same as it would be for a human. So it's like
that part makes no sense to me.
That's why I switched it from playing in normal to easy because it didn't make any sense at all.
Yeah, I mean, Chris, did you watch the full thing or did you only watch the 15 minutes like you said?
I did watch a little bit more today, but I didn't get to the end because I had to go into a call and didn't go back to it.
You saw what I had to do. Every time I would shoot something, I would then walk up to it with my knife and stab it to make sure because it doesn't give you any feedback, too, because it tries to do the jump scare thing with you where you think you've killed something, you walk by it, it grabs your leg, and you're like, motherfucker.
Yeah, unless the head is exploded, it pretty much means it's going to get up again.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's to the point that it's like, I get it, and it's supposed to be survival horror, so it's intended to kill you. But again, as I've said before, I play a lot of games on easy mode these days just because I don't have the time to get frustrated over and over again. And after the first death in that demo reel, I realized real quick I need to switch it to assisted, not because I didn't want to play it on the regular difficulty, but I knew that this demo would take forever if I had to learn the game slowly that way. So I just said, you know what, screw it. Throw on the easier difficulty. It gives me an assault rifle. My health will regenerate if it's in critical, and that way it just means I end everything and just I can get through it and actually get a sense of the game rather than being frustrated for a half an hour trying to get past a cloud of 4 zombies, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I feel the same way when it comes to Resident Evil. I just want it to be one-hit headshots. I get it. If you shoot the body, it's not going to be a one-hit. That makes sense. They're zombies. But, like, I don't know. It's like Resident Evil 2. I love playing that, but the even just the knife in that one, it had a durability meter or whatever it was, so it could actually break and you'd have to find a new knife.
It looks like you don't in this one.
They changed that in this one.
I'm glad it was changed in this one, but I mean, I also wish they had made the zombies die with a headshot, but I think that's just a difficulty setting, because if you are really good at the game and you have it on expert, but you can still one-shot headshot everybody, then it's not
from what I was doing on assisted, it said the damage rolls were higher, but I still needed 3 shots in the head, so I'm like, I don't know about that. So it's hard to tell.
Yeah, okay.
That's I don't know, like the only thing, the biggest criticism I'm hearing is that it's just too short.
Well, and I've heard that thing too, and I also did a video about a couple of the criticisms, whether it was the PS5 controller, which we'll get into further down the show, Final Fantasy VII, and the Resident Evil 3 remake, where one of the complaints was that it's too short, to which I said, guys, it's literally only a half an hour on average shorter than the original. And the reason that it's probably a half hour shorter is because a lot of the loading times have been taken away. So there's probably a lot of things technology-wise that have sped the game up. If the game is only a half hour shorter, I don't think it's a content thing anymore. So that complaint I didn't get. Like, I've seen people say, oh, they made it a lot more linear and whatever else. I'm like, okay, fine. Whatever it may be on that front. But, I mean, if the complaint is that it's short, it's like, man, I guess we're just becoming used to games being 20, 30, 40 hours for that same price now. Whereas games back in the day were all like this. They were all very short.
Yeah.
I think 20 hours is a perfect length for a game, in my opinion. I feel like it's long enough that you get satisfaction out of it, but it's not so long that you're like, when's this gonna end?
Well, the time is always arbitrary. I mean, you can get great enjoyment out of a game that takes 30 minutes. Like, there's a possibility of that. Like, there's a game called Gone Home that's really short. It's just a walking simulator sort of kind of game where you're just walking and finding things and slowly learning a story, and it's less than 10 hours, and I loved it, even though, you know, it's a much shorter thing. It just really depends on what it is. Like, I know, Chris, you've played this as well, like a game like Her Story.
Yeah, I've actually played Her Story and Gone Home, and they're shorter and they're great. And honestly, if they were 20 hours each, actually, it would probably ruin the experience.
Yeah, so there are certain ways where it works.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But I mean, if a game like The Witcher 3 was only 10 hours, we'd be furious.
Oh my God, I'd riot. And the thing is that game, I'm 60 hours in, and it honestly feels like I've only played 20 hours. Well, you just get so lost in it.
That's the thing with The Witcher, that a movie would never work for that game.
No. It would be
for most games, it wouldn't work because you can't condense 10 plus hours into 2. It's impossible.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
You could probably make Resident Evil 3 into a movie, because 6 hours cutting it down to 1.5 probably isn't that hard, because you take away a lot of the exploration part of it. You can condense it a lot quicker.
Yeah. And
I'm just honestly surprised we don't have a new Nemesis movie, because that seems like a great opportunity to try that again.
Well, there's a rumor of a Resident Evil TV series being made on Netflix, which I really, really hope that's true, because Resident Evil as a TV series would be awesome. It would be, I think the way they should do it, though, 1 game per season.
I mean, it depends on what their format is, right?
Yeah,
because I heard that the Netflix series is going to be a whole other story, and I don't even think it's taking place in Raccoon City. I think it's
you could definitely just do another whole other Outbreak.
Yeah. So it's still in the same universe. They'll probably mention certain characters or something to tie into it.
I mean, you can't assume that Umbrella only operates in one place. They probably have a whole little few things they're doing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah, that's it for me. So, Vish, what have you been up to?
Well, I have been marathoning Metal Gear Solid 5, and I am able to say I give it legendary status. And when I say legendary status, I am talking about Ocarina of Time, Super Mario 3, Final Fantasy 7 legendary status.
Damn.
Like, the game is not easy to navigate, but once you figure out how to, it gets significantly better. And because it's open world, it's also not so easy to find things, but you'll get a lot of really cool buddies with you. You get a horse who is really awesome. He's able to go through all the terrains, unlike most vehicles. You get a dog who is arguably the best one, not just because he's a dog.
No, but dog is always best.
Yes.
That's just the rule.
But yeah, a spoiler alert. It's a 5-year-old game. Never mind. So what this dog does, he can sniff out bad guys for you and put a marker on them for you. So if someone's hiding, he can sense it and find them for you.
That's not a spoiler. That's just cool.
Yeah, that's just really cool that the dog is able to do that for you. And it starts off as a puppy. And Adam, you'll be happy since he's basically basically a husky. And he starts off as a fucking puppy.
Oh, I've played like maybe 5-10 hours of it, so I've gotten to that point and gotten the dog.
Yeah, and it's but with this game, it's great gameplay wise, visually, story incredible. It has some really disturbing moments. I mean, moments that could rival Silent Hill in disturbing.
I mean, it's Kojima, so you always got to be worried about something.
Oh yeah.
And it's not even the fact that because these disturbing moments are real. Like, they're real, grounded, disturbing moments.
They're not. It's a video game.
No, trust me. I don't want to spoil anything for Chris because he's planning to play it. But if I tell you the stuff that actually disturbed me in this game, it's not anything like outrageous, or it's like stuff that actually has happened or is happening, to be entirely honest.
So can I ask a question for reference then? Is it as extremely horrifying as, say, the white phosphorus from Spec Ops: The Line?
Can you elaborate on that?
There is a moment in this game which is based, I guess it's like a Middle East kind of war zone, where you legitimately put a bomb of white phosphorus into what you think is a terrorist den, and it turns out to be civilians. So you see a bunch of burned to death civilians.
Yes.
Is it that level horrifying?
It can be that level horrifying.
Okay.
Like, I'm not exaggerating when I say like there was moments that I was like frozen playing this game. And
why did the game crash?
No. I crashed.
It's frozen.
I froze and I had to be rebooted. No, but
did you try unplugging yourself and plugging yourself back in again?
Yes.
No. He wasn't facing Psycho Manus.
Oh.
Or was I?
Dun dun dun.
I'm only half joking, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, I assume things are opened up to it. I mean, I've been spoiled a few things because, I mean, again, it's a 5-year-old game, so it's hard not to. But I mean, it's Metal Gear Solid. What else do you need?
So what? As I mentioned, what happened was when I beat the main story, it turns out there's a part 2 to it.
And you were gonna YouTube it, and I'm like, motherfucker, that is a bonus. You play that shit.
But then I found out the part 2 is about 5 hours. I'm not going to sit down and I don't like watching people play video games. Like, if it was like an hour or something, I probably would have done it, but it was like 5 hours. Like,
oh, I would have called your ass out on this podcast if you did that. I would have called you out.
I would have been like, oh, fuck it, I'll just play it myself. Because I like, during this whole situation, the only thing I've really watched is Castlevania and Onward. I haven't been watching a lot of TV shows or movies, really. I've been playing games because it's something to do. With a fucking show or movie, you're just sitting on your ass doing nothing. At least
it's a little more casual just to watch something. So you kind of just relax and shut your brain off, or at least in gaming it invests you in something.
So
yeah, absolutely.
So sorry to I may be talking too much, but I honestly am just waiting to hear New Mutants is on Disney Plus now.
Oh,
I'm literally just waiting to hear that.
That movie is going to be like, is it going to turn out to be like the Half-Life 3 of movies where it just never comes?
At this point, like, they don't have a release date for it. And
I mean, almost nothing has one now.
It's hilarious. No, a lot of things, well, they're talking about, Disney was talking about Artemis Fowl is going to go to Disney Plus. But New Mutants, it's like either just kill it or just put it on streaming, because
like Disney, if it's a pile of shit, just throw it on YouTube for free and just let everybody enjoy the pile of shit.
Exactly. It's so funny how this movie has been treated the entire time.
And it makes me so sad too, because I would have loved to see an X-Men revival, and it's just not going to happen at this point. Like, the only way we're getting an X-Men revival is if they completely reboot it again, which I don't think will happen for a few years when they start rebooting everything again.
Well, the rumor that I saw today, a few days ago, yesterday actually, in Ant-Man 3, that's when the Fantastic Four are going to be subliminally introduced.
Yeah, I saw that too.
I can't take anything with any sort of some credence, because again, like, it's there can be so much stuff flipping around now because we don't know when all these movies are going to go back into production. So they could be making cast changes because people just aren't available anymore.
Yeah, absolutely.
But those are my views right now. Chris,
that would be almost a weird thing to be the reveal for an Ant-Man movie, to be honest. Like, unless they just passively like show a symbol, but if like the actual whole cast showed up, it'd be like, that's a weird choice of timing.
Actually, it's not necessarily weird but the average person wouldn't know this, but I read it somewhere that apparently Reed Richards knows more about Pym particles than Hank Pym himself.
No, I'm not talking even on a story basis or a connection basis. Just for the average like Marvel viewer, it feels like you would want to put like a much bigger Marvel movie as being like where you tip that hat, because that's a pretty big group to throw in.
Well, the other rumor is that Black Panther 2 is when Doctor Doom's going to come out.
That'd be a fucking great time to do that.
Yeah, and he's supposed to be the main guy, the main villain in Black Panther 2. And Doctor Doom is like the one character I am waiting for.
Well, as long as they don't treat him like every other Marvel villain and kill him in the first movie.
No, yeah, he's got to be one they keep around for a while.
Like now that Thanos
he's the main villain of the next phase, kind of.
I mean, spoiler technically, but Thanos is gone like every Marvel villain, so it's like at some point somebody's got to be like the cartoon villain that always comes back and you fight just another day. Somebody's got to be the Marvel Team Rocket. I mean, come on.
Hopefully Magneto.
I think Doctor Doom is gonna be like Loki's presence. Like, he's there the whole time. He has some redemptive qualities. But
it just reminded me that I really can't wait for the fucking Loki TV series, and I think that's still like a year away or so. Well, it's probably gonna be longer now because they won't even be shooting it.
I know. I believe
it's probably pushed back.
I believe it is coming in 2020.
Well, it might not now because I don't know if they've been producing it.
It might have filmed already. Like, anything that required human beings may be done.
I don't know, because what were the other ones? I know that the Winter Soldier and Falcon one, one is like all done, and that's the one that's definitely coming this year.
I know WandaVision was on the list.
WandaVision, that's the other one that was coming this year. I think Loki
the first episode date is right now slated for 2021 with no actual date to it. It says early 2021.
2021.
Let's see, production, because I'm just looking on Wikipedia at the time. I don't see anything about filming. Oh, filming began in January, and it was halted in March. So it's not done. Yeah, it's not done.
No, okay. Yeah, so Loki is probably going to get delayed.
So it probably won't be early 2021 at this point. It might be late 2021.
Yeah. Depending on how quickly they can, like, if they're only shut down since March and they're able to start up again over the summer, I mean, that's only 3-4 months that they'd have it, so they probably just delay it by.
And again, I mean, you knock on wood and hope that nobody in the cast is dead, so you don't have to replace people.
Yeah,
that's the thing with a lot of these things that
except
people forget
Wilson.
Is. Well, let's not do a Rosie O'Donnell, shall we? That's the one thing that's, and I don't want to talk about COVID too much, but that's one of the things that's going to be that people don't seem to realize or haven't thought about. It's that all these things that have been in mid-production, they may have to either start all over or scrap it, because if certain people are gone, and I mean gone as dead gone, what is it going to be worth the cost recasting and reshooting all this stuff? So that's the weird thing you got to hope for, that, you know, we don't have to worry about these things.
Yeah, I know. I'm pretty sure Disney has them under very strict lock and key control. That's like,
well, but
you
can't stop everything. So I mean. But it is what it is. Otherwise, like, so as it stands, to go all the way back to where we were, if you were to give a number, is it a 10 out of 10 for Metal Gear then, if you call it legendary?
Yeah, I would probably have to. If anything, it would be 9.8.
Well, we're not doing decimals, so it's either a 9 or a 10.
Yeah, I would probably say 10. When I say it's legitimate, like, I thought number 3 was the best in this series for the longest time. And keep in mind, I'm not finished this game, technically.
If you finish what you would call the core story, then you've got a good sense of it.
Yeah, it's legitimately legendary status. Like I
That's
would give
awesome.
this game.
I'm glad because
And-
I need to go back and play through it again. But I mean,
And
it's just
I would
it's a
say
part of the
also-
backlog as per usual.
I would
Yeah,
say
tell me about it.
I would say also this game is timeless.
I mean,
It's
we're
not-
getting to that point now where graphics aren't going to get that much better. So I mean, some of these games are still going to start falling into that category.
Yeah,
For me-
Yeah, go ahead.
I was
dude.
just gonna say, for me, when it comes to a game being timeless, it usually doesn't even fall to the graphics unless they're just like you can't understand
Well,
what you're seeing on the screen.
there's PlayStation where it's like there's no way that any of those
Yeah.
games are timeless
Because they have like a
look
pre-rendered
horrendous.
background, and you're like, wait, is that the background? What is that? What am I looking at?
I mean,
that
unless you're
kind of
talking
stuff?
like an old JRPG like Breath of Fire, which was still morally cartoonish and still kind of looked like what an SNES game would be, just with a slight better graphical engine.
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
essentially, a lot of RPGs like I know you were never a big fan of it, and I'm a big fan of this game, but essentially, Electric Dragoon and Final Fantasy VII are timeless, despite the graphics. The gameplay is the exact same, and you can play it even right now like you played it before.
See, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I'm such a visual quality guy now, and it's the same goes with music. Like, I have a hard time listening to stuff from the '60s, not even because I don't like the music, but because the quality is so much lower than it would
No,
be
I
listening
get
to
it.
something now. So like I've tried to go back and play really old PlayStation games or N64 games. It doesn't feel nearly as palatable anymore.
Well, even like I'll use an absurd example. The Godfather is a timeless classic of a film, but the part where Sonny beats the shit out of Carlo and where, spoiler alert, Sonny gets assassinated, they're ridiculous to look at.
Yeah, and it's the same thing. Like a lot of those movies, I mean, they are legendary in status, but you look back at some of them and you're like, man, that's what tech used to look like. It is what it is with some of these games. And I mean, I think now, like, because we're at a point where graphics are where they at. A game like a Metal Gear Solid 5 or a game like an Uncharted 4 or a Last of Us, those are games now that at least have some level of visual fidelity that even to somebody 20 years from now is not going to look nearly as bad because this stuff looks really good. And this isn't like us when we were playing the original Gran Turismo and thinking this is the best graphics you're ever going to get. No, we're at a point now that it's not going to get too much better. It's going to be more the frame rate that's going to be the difference.
To be entirely honest, I don't think it should get any better because I thought the best graphics I've ever seen in a video game, at least with character models, was Injustice 2.
I think we can still get better. It's just the margin now is nowhere near as like the gap is not nearly as wide as it is now.
I
used
think
to be, I should say.
I don't think it needs to.
It doesn't need to, but it will.
At that point, it's so advanced. Like, what's next? You have real people in the game. It was
not even that, but it just textures and all these extra little details are going to be so much better now because, like, even for example with the PS5 having the ability to load in much more stuff, you're going to be able to see proper texturing because they're not going to spend all this extra time trying to load in stuff where it can just pop in an instant. Same with lighting and all these things. So it is going to get better. It's just not going to be nearly as noticeable as, say, a PS1 to PS3 gap. It's not going to be that.
Yeah.
Instead of it being like 10 times better, it might be 0.5 or 0.5% better. It's not going to be massive.
Like, before we get to Chris, what I'm getting at is that with for example, with Finding Nemo, there was points that the animation and style of the test animations were so good, they couldn't tell the difference between the source material footage and the actual 3D animation they created. They're like, tone it down a little. That's what I mean, is that at a certain point, keep it looking like it's still a game, not a recreation.
I mean, I don't personally think we're at that point yet. I don't think we're at Uncanny Valley yet, because I can play a game like Horizon or, as you said, Injustice 2 and seeing the cutscenes and being like, okay, no, we're getting there, but we're not there yet.
But I personally feel that it shouldn't get any further than that. Just leave it looking like a game still. But sorry, to move on, Chris, what have you been doing?
So as we've been talking about Metal Gear, I have downloaded Metal Gear and I plan on starting it tomorrow. It's my big Easter game I plan on getting into because you've.
Are you going to play it with your Ring Fit on?
No, different system. Thank God. Not doing that. Never doing that. I saw the Dark Souls video you sent me. The guy playing Dark Souls 3
somebody modded Dark Souls to play it with the Ring Fit. That looked painful.
Fuck. As soon as I saw the Ring Fit thing, and I was like, fuck, Dark Souls is on Switch. I knew it was coming. I fucking knew it was coming. Ever since somebody beat it with a Guitar Hero guitar and somebody beat it with the Dance Dance Revolution pad.
Oh yeah, people do that all the time.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's like the hardest game ever, and people are just like, let's make it harder. And that's stupid. I want to play it on easy, which doesn't exist in Dark Souls, so fuck that.
Dark Souls is one difficulty. Survive if you can.
Yes, survive if you can. I have Dark Souls 3. One day I will attempt it.
I was about to say, you're not going to play it, you're going to try to play it.
You're going to see how long I can last before I'm like, fuck this, and just try something else.
For me, that was about an hour.
yeah, that's probably what I would have too. So since I'm going into Metal Gear tomorrow, because Vishal has been the numerous texts I've received of just, this game is perfect, you need to play. Every text just sold me more and more until one night at like midnight, I'm like, I'm going to download that before I go to bed so it's ready for me. I'm going to start that tomorrow, but because I have my rule where I have to beat 4 games a month if I'm going to hit my goal for the end of the year of getting this fucking backlog down, I decided I was going to play a couple like short little games before I started that big one, because I'm worried that once I'm in Metal Gear, like it's going to be like The Witcher. Like I've stopped The Witcher, I've paused it for a bit just because I need a break. I'm like,
you can also go back to it too, because the game does a pretty good job of keeping it investing, and even with all the side missions, you can just go back and feel like you haven't missed too much.
In all fairness, The Witcher, a Metal Gear is part of your backlog, so it could be one of your 4 that you finish.
Oh, absolutely. And that's the goal. So my goal is to, I already had, I'm almost done a second game, so I'll have 2 done, which is good enough because we're very early in April here. So having 2 out of 4 already done, I can hop into Metal Gear and then have another one on the side if I need, if it gets near the end of the month.
I mean, technically you can count Left 4 Dead if we finish everything.
That one I already took off the backlog because I've technically already played through and beaten it once. But I'm glad that we're playing it again, because I'll play that until I die. I don't even care.
I'm glad that we're at least starting to do some gameplay stuff. We're making good use of this remote environment that we're in now.
Oh, yeah. Like, my backlog is down by 12. I'm down to 392, which is a lot. But, I mean, it was at, like, holy crap, I think 304 when this thing started.
Yeah, you were getting close to Snoop Dogg numbers.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
420?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, excuse me. So what I've been actually playing is Ring Fit still, but again, that's just exercise. That's what that is. It's cool. They add an alarm to the system, so the Switch actually vibrates and highlights blue where the home button is. Kind of like, hey, fucker, you said you wanted to work out at 8:30. I'm going to do this until you work out. So that's kind of annoying, but helpful because it reminds me.
Hey, you made the choice.
Yeah, I did. I put it in there. And even if you go to like another game we've been playing is Animal Crossing, but say I go to open it and go to Animal Crossing, it's like you have to hit this one specific button if you would like to ignore your workout and instead do this. Press any other button and you're going into your workout.
See, thank God there's no setting on it that it just turns your like, no, you don't get to play anything else until you finish your goddamn workout.
Yeah, I mean that'd be. I would maybe turn that on sometimes, but I've been playing Animal Crossing as well. I tweeted out today that Animal Crossing is like the joy of painting with Bob Ross for video games. It's just like a relaxing. I don't even know how to describe it other than that.
Okay, we're gonna catch some nice little bugs here.
Yeah, it's just so wholesome, and it's like oh, we're just gonna shake this little happy tree over here. We're just gonna shake that and catch this butterfly over here.
No. Are you gonna do it the Deadpool way? Or we're just gonna whack it off. We're just whack it off real quick.
Yeah.
Well, if you do that, Tom Nook's just gonna keep your rank going up even higher now because you're becoming a menace.
Tom Nook is a fucking criminal, but that's
who's Tom Nook?
The raccoon that you pay to live on an island, but then he's like, "Oh, here's a tent. Oh, do you want a home? Okay, here, you owe me $100,000. You pay him $100,000, pay it off. He gives you a home."
Are there memes going around about this guy?
Oh, there's always memes going around about that fucker.
Yeah, ever since the GameCube, it's because this is the main guy who gives you your house in every Animal Crossing.
He is the Nintendo Skyrim guy.
Yeah, that's exactly who the fuck he is. But yeah, so I was playing that. But again, that doesn't have an end, so it's gonna be a while till I check that off the backlog. So I ended up playing 2 small games. One a couple days ago, really small indie game called Saturday Morning RPG.
Oh, I heard about this one.
It's an adorable, fucking fun-ass little RPG that has 5 episodes, like a Saturday morning cartoon. You play a guy named Marty who has a hoverboard, so,
It's
clearly
Marty
from...
McFly.
Yeah, exactly, because the entire game is based in the 80s and about the 80s. So you get powers like the Care Bear stare, you turn into Optimus Prime, you get just all of this stuff that has to do with the 80s. You fight some of the enemies are like these mutated versions of Fraggle Rock. Like, it's just fucking hilarious.
Oh my
Do you
god!
have to fight those like
Captain
creepy
Hood.
like dinosaur puppet things?
No, it was the main character, but like on drugs. Like, what the fuck?
It sounds so ridiculous, but so awesome.
It was. The main bad guy is Captain Hood, who is supposed to be Cobra Commander from G.I. Joe. It's just, it's all the things that happen. You're like, oh my god! And the game actually ends where you're on your hoverboard and like skating away towards the camera from an explosion, as the most 80s song ever plays in the background. Like, I'm talking like some guy singing, and it's super inspirational. And
it's the final countdown.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's either one of two things. It's either like really cheesy rock or it's hair metal. It's one or the other.
Cheesy rock. Absolutely. Like
you got the
final
touch.
Yeah, any of these. All of them are perfect examples. But it was an original song that somebody wrote for this game only. Like,
oh,
I
yeah.
was like, what the fuck?
With speaking of 80s, Metal Gear Solid 5 takes place in 1984, and one weird thing you do is go around and you'll see these ghetto blasters, and you take tapes of them from them, and they'll have like major 80s songs like The Final Countdown and Friday I'm in Love by The Cure and a few other ones.
That's
yeah,
amazing.
but it's just not the same when you can have a helicopter arrive to fly to the Valkyries, so you know.
True, very true. But yeah, so Saturday Morning RPG was like 4 or 5 hours total, an hour per episode. It was like the stupidest story ever. A kid gets a notebook that has all these scratch and sniff stickers on it, again 80s, and they give you powers which you use to fight, and then like the Optimus Prime one turns you into Optimus Prime.
So it's Saturday morning South Park: The Stick of Truth.
Yes, absolutely. 100%.
I really want to play this game. It sounds like it would be the most amazing nostalgia trip ever.
Yeah, and the funny thing is I have it on Steam, and I've had it since like 2014 or something like that, 2015. I never got around to playing it, but the Switch has a sale right now, and it was on for 95% off. It was like 49 cents. And I'm like, all right, for me to play that on the TV, because it's like an indie game, and it looks like very pixelated, like on purpose. And I was like, I already own the game, but I'm probably not going to play it on the TV. But for 49 cents, and it's an indie developer, so I don't mind throwing them another.
Yeah, and then you can play it on a small
cents.
console, so it probably looks better there than it would on a TV.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, absolutely. And I played it just on the couch while working from home. So I had the Switch beside me and my laptop on my lap. I'd work a bit, play a little bit. Because again, 5 hours over a work day. I did it, I think, over 2 days total. It was easy.
It's like what's called Mercenary Kings.
Only that game probably would require a lot more thought.
Yeah, that game actually requires you to try.
Yeah, this one had like quick prompts or whatever. What the hell are those called?
What, QuickTime events?
QuickTime events. So certain powers you'd have to do like a QuickTime event, but that was it. And then other ones you just used it and it killed everybody. It had like the Nintendo World Championship NES cart that you could get as a power. It was ridiculous.
Nice.
The other game I played just today actually was Lara Croft Go. You guys ever tried that?
What?
I've heard of both. I've heard
like
the Hitman Go one is really good.
Yeah, it's the exact same thing as Hitman Go. Obviously, they're both Square Enix because they owned Hitman and Tomb Raider.
I apologize, BRB.
Okay, you could just leave.
You could just leave, yeah. The Lara Croft Go, it's a puzzle game, but like not playing like puzzles or anything like that. It's more like a strategy game, I guess. The character's on a grid, and every time you can do one thing. You can move, or you can move an object.
It almost looks like a board game when you look at it.
Yeah, it's kind of like a board game, but everything moves in one succession. So say you go to a lever, and when you pull it, a door starts to close, and it has 4 turns. That means you have to press, you have 4 moves to get to that door before it's fully closed, and then you'd have to try again. There's enemies there, but as long as you attack them from the side or behind, you kill them. If you attack them from the front, they kill you.
Yeah.
It's very interesting the way it plays out, because there's like bosses and stuff, but it's like you have to make something on the map hurt the boss. So it's like if you stand in front of the boss once, it gets ready to attack, and then when you move a second time, it attacks. So you have to like move to the side. If you move still in front of it, you'll die. If you move to the side, it will lunge forward, and then that's when you would like land on a lever, and while it's lunged forward, press a button which makes, like spikes come up or something that hurts that boss.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like an exploration / board game kind of game. I know it was originally made for mobile. I obviously have it on Steam. Super cheap game. It's $5 normally, and it was, I think when I bought it, it was like $1.24 or something like that. It didn't take me long to beat, but some of the puzzles do get very complicated. Because it's like, get in front of this bad guy, it starts to follow you. You move to the right, you go on top of a switch, then when you move off it, the enemy then moves on top of the switch as well, which might open a door for you. So you have to kind of get that far ahead of the enemy so that by the time it steps on the switch, you're right in front of the door. So there's a lot of thought in there.
It makes me think like there's a lot of games that use a similar format to that. I'm surprised I haven't tried on the mobile stream. I mean, we finally just got a Final Fantasy Tactics-ish mobile game, which I haven't been able to really get into because, again, like it's a mobile game. So when they try to put a story in, it's really hard to get connected to it because the characters are always so one-dimensional.
Yeah. See, this was good because there is no story. You just go into a cave and there's an artifact and you're just working your way to get to the artifact. But then obviously you run into things on the way.
Like there are definitely a lot of games that could work really well with that format. Like XCOM would be cool with that. Metal Gear Solid could work really well with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hell, like if you want to even go to the movie route, like you can just have James Bond and just adapt the Hitman Go idea to it.
Yeah, 100%. And it actually like looked really nice because it went with a specific art style that was not polygonal, but like kind of like take a PS1 game, but actually keep the graphics with the right shape. Like this was Triangle Tits Lara, 100%.
Okay,
but
so
upgraded to like 4K quality, I guess. I don't know how to describe it.
So it's a PS2 game.
Yeah.
Well, it was intended for mobile devices.
Yeah,
so it's not
it
like
was
intended
originally
to be
an
like this
iPad,
crazy graphical power.
So
yeah, it
it's
was originally on iPad and stuff.
PS 1.5.
Yeah. But it's actually super fun and it makes you think, but it's also something you can just play while doing something else. Because until you have to like really think about the puzzles near the end, you're like, okay, how the fuck am I supposed to do this? Some of them are complicated. You have to like move up and down, left, right, and do all this stuff just so that an enemy is in a certain spot, and then it'll follow you, and then you have to push this thing, and then you land on the switch, which makes a boulder come down, and it hits the enemy. So many different things, and it gets kind of complicated. But I played through it today, and I already beat the main campaign. I'm just going through and now getting the collectibles because you can go back to each level. They're very small, and they have like 3 trinkets in each, and you can find all 3. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to find them. But I should be able to finish that easily with probably 1 more hour of gameplay, and then I'm going to hop into Metal Gear Solid 5.
Yeah,
Sweet.
Trust me. It's like I said, it starts off quite like blah almost. I would say no. I'm sorry. The intro is intense, but then when you start playing the game, it's a little blah. But
Well, yeah, but it's got to get you used to the world first.
Yeah, that's the thing. And like I said, you get the horse, and the horse is great, and the dog is awesome. You also get another helper, a third one, who is a mute female sniper.
There's no way he doesn't know who Quiet is.
Yeah, of course I know Quiet. Holy crap, that cosplay back then was so good.
Yeah, even if he'd never seen the game before, he's probably seen a million people dress as it. So,
you know what? I'm starting to realize, going to a few conventions, that I now get the costume.
yeah,
You were just like, what the hell is this?
it's like
No,
I don't know
I
what
was
that
like,
is, but it's hot. And then you watch the game, you're like,
I love it.
Absolutely.
But she is fucking awesome. Like, she's arguably the best helper in gaming history. And
You're putting the dog over her?
listen, I am going to get a lot of hate for this. I'm putting her over Yoshi.
I'm not a giant fan of Yoshi anyways.
Really?
Yeah, I know.
I love playing as Yoshi, man. With Yoshi, I'm like, I wish I could have played Mario Galaxy with Yoshi the entire time.
I never played Galaxy 2. That could also be why.
Maybe, but it's just when I like the way you got like, cause it's just you know what? I won't even say anything more because I want you to play it. Like this is the one time I'm gonna like not say anything spoilers about something that's 5 years old because I want you to experience it fully.
Well, I appreciate that.
So you're saying you don't want to be a dick? That's a first.
Yes, believe it or not, it happens sometimes.
So I guess moving on, we'll take a look at this rather short list for this week in terms of what got released.
Another thing that I've been playing this week that I've really enjoyed is Madden 2020.
You have not been playing.
You're an asshole.
No,
Stop pretending.
You're an asshole.
Sorry, Adam. Go ahead.
No, fuck you. The show's over.
But Madden is phenomenal.
You see, if you look on the screen here, I'm totally here. Other side. Trump is not here. So the fact that Vish is trying to take his spot, that is copyright infringement, sir. I think I need to kick you off the show.
Ooh.
Wrong.
So anyways, we'll actually move on and get this over with now.
Yes.
The list, like I said, is really short. In fact, there's actually a day where there isn't even anything good on it. So I'll start right from the top here. So April 3rd, we have 2 games. So in 1993, the original Breath of Fire JRPG was released.
I was playing that
system?
2 months ago.
I want to say that Super Nintendo it would have started on.
Oh, okay.
It's on the Switch Online for Super Nintendo on the Switch, obviously.
Yeah, I've played the original 2. I have 3 and 4 on my PlayStation TV, and I haven't gone to those yet. I'm not sure why, but
I played the original 3. They were so good. I still listen to the third soundtrack on Spotify.
We just don't talk about Dragon Quarter.
Honestly, some of these 8-bit, 60-bit soundtracks are so timeless. It's ridiculous.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. 100%. I mean,
100%.
some of the best music is from Final Fantasy VI, which is a friggin' Super Nintendo game.
Yeah, Final Fantasy VI and Chrono Trigger, man, those two, they're just too good to exist.
Yeah. Actually, one specific track I'll say that I love listening to. Actually, no, 2, and they're from the same game.
I love how he's like just one thing that I'm about to say. Oh, actually, 2. It's just every time.
No, the Snake Man and Spark Man theme for Mega Man 3.
Oh fuck yeah!
Themes are fucking awesome. Even
Wily's Castle, Metal Gear, Mega Man 2. Got Metal Gear on the brain now. Mega Man 2, Wily's Castle.
Metal Gear music's still good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And we're cutting you off from the bingo card again.
Yes.
So yeah, Breath of Fire. 2 is my favorite. What's your actual favorite between the ones you've played, Chris?
Probably 2. 1 was just a little too grindy, and it was like their first outing, so it was not.
I also remember 2 fondly because when it got its Game Boy Advance port, I still was getting Nintendo Power at that point. Or was Nintendo? It might have been a different magazine, but it was definitely some sort of
it was probably Nintendo
game magazine back in the day. And I remember seeing the official artwork of Cat, who is a half human, half cat hybrid. And the way the picture shows it, it looks like she didn't have pants on because she doesn't wear pants because she just has fur. But the way the picture shows it, of course, like teenage me was just like, am I just staring at a naked girl?
Slash cat.
Yes.
I would definitely say 2 was
it wouldn't be shocking
favorite.
that a teenage Adam was interested in looking at pussy, right?
This is true. I think I'm torn between the second and third one for my favorite because they both were good, and the third one had that like holy crap, like we're in the PlayStation era now.
Mm-hmm.
It's like for me, I never like RPGs weren't my thing, but like I feel like Fire Emblem was like a really good series.
Fire Emblem I didn't play until the last one. Actually, it's the only one I've actually played.
Yeah, I mean, you have to go back to the Game Boy Advance for those. I mean, the problem with you, Vish, I get the sense of is that, not to mention too, because you have so many hats that you wear, it's just JRPGs kind of just don't fit for you because they're so long. They take so much time and dedication to them.
Yeah.
Not to mention,
and there's times when you do nothing for like 20 seconds.
Yeah, unless you're open to the fact of being very elongated and a whole lot of nothing for a good 2-3 hours before the big stuff kicks in, there's a lot of times where it's just down. And I think for you, because you don't spend nearly as much time playing all these things, as you probably would rather have these shorter games that just get to the point.
Well, it's not the shorter games I like, but yeah, getting to the point is great. Even in some parts of Metal Gear Solid 5, there were some like moments where it's like, okay, what's next? Okay, what's next? Like I have this thing where I want to know what's gonna happen next. I want to know what's happening, and I want to proceed with the story. That's my only thing.
Yeah, and then there's me playing a third out of 4 JRPGs, and I still don't know what the fuck's going on, so I clearly have a lot of patience.
Also, me and Adam know the rule of JRPGs when it comes to story. The stories are all the same. Step 1, gather 5 loaves of bread from the local market as a side quest. Step 2, kill
Chris,
God.
no, that's not true. That's not true. Step 1 is learn about the 4 crystals of the elements that you must protect or find.
Yeah, true.
Then
true.
you get the
That
5
was a
loaves
lot
of bread.
Yeah, then you get 5 loaves of bread. Step 3, kill God. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, that's
JRPGs
I mean,
are
there's
fun.
a few
When you really
steps in
think about it, they're
between, but,
fucked up.
you know, that's about the gist of it.
So I know Adam is completely, not to go off topic, I know Adam is completely sick of the PS5 controller memes, but I just found another one and I thought it's pretty funny because it's so ridiculous.
What is it?
I just sent it on the.
Why would you talk about it on an audio show then?
I just sent it on
No
the
one
chat.
can see it.
God
I want you to see
damn
it.
it.
I want to see your reaction about it.
It looks like a kid's controller. Okay, that's all it is. It
Exactly.
looks like one of those stupid-ass Fisher-Price controllers. Okay, we're done. Moving on to the next game. From 2012 is the joke one on this list, the Kinect version of Star Wars.
Oh, I'm Han Solo. I'm Han Solo.
Which
I love that
everybody
song.
thought was going to be amazing
I'm Han
until we
Solo.
remembered, oh, right,
I'm
it's the
Han
Kinect.
Solo.
Because the
The
Kinect
Kinect was
is...
actually a very great concept, and it actually was
Yes,
quite.
but the Kinect is a great concept after you've gone through about 5 iterations of it when you actually understand what you're supposed to do with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because when I really first heard about the Kinect's technology, it was in 2010. It was 10 years ago, where someone said like he would go home, wave at it, and then all of a sudden the Xbox would come on.
Yeah, that's nice. But then go and watch Angry Joe's review of Steel Battalion for the Kinect and realize how behind that tech still was. It was a good proof of concept, but it doesn't... There are serious limitations.
Also, waving at the console, you still have to grab the controller after. And currently, when you grab the controller, the main button on it turns on the console anyways. So why would they make it that you have to wave at the console, but then sit down, pick up the controller, still turn the controller on, and start playing?
Yeah, it's one of those useless gimmicks, right?
It's a gimmick, yeah. It's like the fucking Wii remotes. Just
Yeah.
not every game actually needed it, thank God.
Moving on. Oh, unless we're not moving on.
No. We're gonna move on. Go ahead.
Okay. April 4th, we have 2 games in that list. In 2014, Elder Scrolls Online came on, which I've never got to play, but I have friends who are really into it, just because, again,
I've
it's Elder
avoided it on
Scrolls.
purpose. I can't get
played
into
it.
another fucking MMO.
That was my other thing, too. Again, it's just I don't have time for those anymore.
Yeah.
And then otherwise, 2017 was the initial release for Persona 5, which, oddly enough, I've played 3, 4, and 5 as JRPGs, and actually, I find that that's the weakest one, but I'm hoping the new re-release in Royal, which adds a bunch of stuff to it, might actually make it a little bit better.
You never played Persona 1 or 2?
I played the original on PSP, but I just couldn't get into it because it's not nearly the same in terms of how the game runs. It's more of just a traditional JRPG, and it's not nearly as interesting as once it gets to 3 when it starts having the school life being brought into it as well and being a little bit more open.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, you're going to say something, Vish?
No. I actually, to be entirely honest, I forgot what I was gonna get into.
Okay, well, that's all I need to hear then. Moving on.
Name
then.
of your sex tape.
Madden that year was incredible.
Yes, okay, we're definitely moving on then. April 5th, one game of note, at least in terms of critical acclaim, 2016, was the indie crazy go nuts rogue shooter Enter the Gungeon, which I have played and is actually really fun.
Enter the Gungeon?
Yes.
Yeah, I've given that a quick go. I don't own it. I think I tried a demo somewhere or something.
What type of shooter is it? Is it
It's like a top down shooter. It's like the old the old top-down shooters you would play in like either arcades way back in the day or like on older consoles where you're looking down at your character. It's basically sprite based. It's very old.
Oh,
Yeah.
you know what? I was thinking about one shooter today. Did you guys ever play this game called Redneck Rampage?
I was about to say Red
No.
Dead Redemption. It's like no one's ever
No.
played that game.
Right. No,
I mean,
I've
I
never heard
still
of this
haven't
one.
played it.
you never heard of Redneck Rampage?
Let me see. I
Like
might be
it-
thinking of.
I've
something
heard of
different,
it, and
but
I
let's see
remember
what
the
this
box
thing
cover
is.
art for it. But
So
I
it
never
had
played
some really cool weapons in it. Like there was one where you would fire buzzsaws at demons or whatever. the
Okay,
fuck
so
you were
it's
trying to kill.
something similar to Painkiller, where it has crazy guns, like a gun that shoots shurikens and lightning.
Possibly, but it was like it was a fun game. It was just I just played demos of it at the stores when stores used to have demos, and I'm just like, hey, this is really fun. So no, it was a game that just popped into my head the other day. I was like, hey, this is a lot of fun. I would actually see if I can find it somewhere. It's probably on Steam.
It may not be on Steam, but there are always like there's places that you can find people that have revived really old games and just made them available for download.
On the Unreal Engine.
I couldn't fucking tell you.
Yeah,
I'd have to know what the hell the game is. So you know.
No, but that was one. If you're looking at it as, I thought it was fun when I played, but that was also like in late '90s. So who knows now?
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead, dude. What's next?
As we go to April the 6th, this one's a crazy one. Now, this was originally released in 1989, but we all know it because it released with Windows 3.1 in 1992, and that's Minesweeper.
I'm so good at Minesweeper.
Oh, have you ever seen that meme? Our kids will never know how to play Minesweeper because we didn't either.
I totally know how to play. I get all the rules.
I found out like how to actually play it. Like the numbers correspond with how many mines are actually around you. But it's just like I know how to have you ever done that cheat where you make it like 100 by 100 and then there's only 10 bombs and you just click randomly in
No, because I'm not a bitch.
Oh, I used to do that, but then I also did it 100 by 100 and maxed out the number of mines.
Oh
allowed.
yeah, you
I
go
put
on
extreme
stupid crazy
difficulty.
mode.
Yeah, I did that.
Did you ever complete it?
Yeah, I did a lot of. I used to play Minesweeper almost every day. I'm talking like I was 13 or something like that.
Well, yeah, when you
10.
aren't really buying your own games and you don't really have a really good console, you eventually find ways to go around. Like I remember playing MS-DOS Wheel of Fortune all the time as a kid.
Oh man, some of the games I had for MS-DOS. Ooh, I actually just played one recently. It was called Battle Chess. It's from 1988.
Yep, I had a 3D
It's
version of
essentially-
it. I want to say that was in the 90s.
Wizard's Chess from Harry Potter.
Yeah, it was Wizard's Chess from Harry
But you
Potter.
could you could battle your move like if
and it was visceral as fuck.
Yeah,
At least for that time.
If a pawn wanted to take over a knight spot, they would both have to battle.
yeah. Do you guys want to know
actually-
something interesting?
What?
Yes.
That's a game I knocked off my backlog last month.
Battle chess?
Yeah, it's on Steam. I
Of
bought
course
it
it's on
last year.
Steam. Somebody put it on there.
When you try and run it, it actually launches a DOS emulator just to run the game, and it runs like hot garbage.
You know what game I
Hot
used to
garbage. It's so
absolutely-
slow. Like it takes, like honestly, 15 seconds for one character, one chess piece to move to where you want it to go, because they walk super slow, and it's like the animation is slowed down. It's just like such a terrible port.
So did you
One
actually take it off your
game
backlog
I,
because you finished it or because you couldn't stand it anymore?
I took it. No. I was playing, and also the computer was known for being unfair and just never made a mistake. You couldn't win no matter what. So I went until I finally won, and then once I won, I'm like, "Fuck this!" Uninstall off the backlog.
One game I absolutely loved on MS-DOS, and you guys probably know this game because it was in the arcade as well. Operation Wolf.
Yeah.
It was one of those arcade shooters where you had the machine gun and would shoot the sprites on the screen.
Oh,
Like time.
Yes.
I don't remember.
remember. So like most games back then,
yeah.
because that's all they could pull off.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but I kind of miss those games because they were just fun. There's like,
Are you saying games
bang,
are not
bang,
fun
bang, bang.
anymore?
No, I mean like they were mindless fun.
That's still what games are.
I mean, Battle Chess wasn't mindless. That shit was hard.
No, that shit kicked your ass.
Exactly. And most fighters aren't even mindless anymore.
Well, speaking of fighters, that almost is a decent segue into the next game on the list. So April the 8th, because the 7th literally has nothing important on it. First released on arcades in 1987, but the first console release was in 1988 of the original Double Dragon.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Which totally has a good movie. Wink, wink.
Is it as
Spoiler alert, it doesn't.
Yeah,
Of course
there
there
is.
is.
I know that. Is it as good as?
Did not know that.
It's as good as Mortal Kombat 2. And I'm
Ooh,
only
that's
half-
actually tough. Ooh, that's
I'm
actually
only-
really tough.
I am literally only half joking. I've never seen this movie, but I know for sure it's literally almost as good as
I
Mortal Kombat
might
2.
actually put Annihilation above Double Dragon.
It was that bad?
Well, I mean, they're both really bad.
No, I've never seen Annihilation. That's the thing. I've never seen Double
it's just-
Dragon.
We'll go
I
watch
thought for a
Double
second
Dragon
you
now and
actually
figure it
hadn't
out for
seen
yourself.
Annihilation.
I saw Annihilation in theaters.
Yeah, so did I.
I was 14 years old, and I'm like, this is horrible.
Yeah, it was.
At
You know what's not
14,
horrible? Oh, well,
What,
you weren't
Madden?
finished then, so finish up. Oh, fuck off with Madden. I will legit. We are in Discord recording this. I will literally kick your ass out of the Discord.
No, you won't. Anyways, what did you say is not horrible?
What's not horrible is what's also from 1994, which has actually gotten a revival recently and is becoming like an esports game, which is quite interesting. Windjammers that used to be on Neo Geo.
Oh, holy shit. Wow. That's a throwback.
I've never heard of it. I know nothing.
It's
about
like
it.
competitive frisbee toss.
Oh,
Like, how can I explain it? It's basically like you're throwing. It's almost like you're playing soccer with discs. And it's like this one-on-one competitive game, and it's suddenly had a revival, and it's become like it's become a bit of an esport now. It's kind of interesting.
I didn't even realize it was back.
Yeah, no, it came back. I want to say might have been 2016, 2017, around that time it came back. It's just a nice little neat concept. It isn't anything too crazy. It's just competitive frisbee golf, or competitive frisbee soccer, I should say.
Frolf.
But yeah. Otherwise, the last thing on the list, April the 9th, 2007. We actually got this 10 days earlier than Japan, which is crazy when you think about what
What?
the game is that I'm about to tell you. We got Super Paper Mario for the Wii 10 days before Japan did.
No way.
That's
I
pretty
saw
crazy.
that on Wikipedia, and I'm not sure I believe it, but that's what it says.
What I want to know something.
Apparently that
like-
game wasn't good.
No, it's fine.
Want to know something crazy? That's one of the few games my sister beat that I never did.
Damn.
She finished that game from beginning to end to her herself, and I never got a chance to play it because she was so hooked on it.
What? Shout out to
Yeah.
Pooja on that one.
Nah.
Yeah, I know. It was like, wait, what the hell? Like when I saw one, I came home one day, and she finished the game. And like, what just happened? It's like, I finished the game. Like, you finished the game before I did. Like, yeah. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Did you feel like you should have just quit gaming at that point?
No, it's
Yeah.
Paper Mario. To be entirely honest, it. If she finished Ocarina of Time before me, then yes, I should.
Oh, we wouldn't even be friends with you. You wouldn't even be on
Yeah.
this podcast.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
you're invalidated at that point.
Yeah, but it's like Paper Mario, and she has she.
Hey,
loves
those are
Mario.
good games. Don't act like they're fucking tiny shit.
I've never actually
not-
played through and beaten a Paper Mario game.
I mean, it's basically the successor to Mario RPG. Let's be honest. Like that's really what Paper Mario kind of has
It
become.
is.
But is
Because
it
I-
as good as Mario RPG on Super Nintendo? Because that game is like one of my top
The original
games.
Paper Mario is really good, and then Thousand Year Door on GameCube is also really good.
I've heard a lot of good things about the GameCube one.
No, I know the N64 one was legendary, and I
Like Metal Gear Solid 5 Legendary?
okay
He
I'm
hasn't
sorry.
played it, so he wouldn't know.
I heard it's epic.
So Resident Evil 2 remake.
I would say
you're gonna make this guy's head hurt, man. Stop doing
Well,
that.
because he told me that Epic is Resident Evil 2 remake and Legendary is Metal Gear Solid 5. So I got to figure out this rating system.
Okay, I heard it's really good.
Really good.
So is that like Red Dead Redemption? Just
We're
gonna make this list and post it somewhere on social media because we need the viewers to understand.
that's basically everything that's come out in the last 7 days. So that tells you apparently the first week of April is not the most important week for games. Apparently,
No, apparently not.
really
and
not.
again,
Which is
for
weird
those who are
because
saying, well,
Easter
what about
comes
this
out
game?
this
What
time.
about this game? What about this? I'm talking original releases. I'm not talking like when we got it in North America. I'm not talking about when this console got it. I mean the first time it came out.
Yeah.
Well, it's like there's very few games that actually deserve legendary status because video games are essentially a newer medium. And
Would you say newer now? I mean, they're fucking 40 plus years old now.
yeah, at this point
Yeah.
they are. I would say they are 40 years old. But
Like
still,
Mario celebrating his 35th anniversary this year.
yeah. But I mean, like a very few of them are classified for legendary status.
Well, that's the point. That's why they're
But I mean-
legendary.
with movies, music, and television, those are significantly older mediums.
Well,
So
I
that's
mean,
what
music has
say.
been around possibly since we have.
Not to mention, it's easier to make a song than it is to make a game.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It's easy to
But,
have legendary songs when you can literally write one in 5 minutes.
But I mean, these are mediums that are over 100 years old, whereas gaming is essentially a 40-year-old medium. So that's why
Yeah,
I'm
but
saying
it doesn't matter if gaming was 200 years old. There'd still be way more good films and songs than there would be games because games take so long,
Yeah.
especially now.
Yeah, you can film a movie in like 6 months.
Yeah,
And all the
Final Fantasy
post-production and everything.
VI. A lot of people don't know this. Final Fantasy VI was made in a year.
In a year?
Yes, they
That's
literally.
fast.
I
That's actually
believe
faster
that.
than I was expecting.
I'm actually I'm surprised it's that short.
And well, that's again, it's because of the era. Like a lot of stuff was chopped up. Like they basically just used the same system that they were using for Final Fantasy V and just adapted things to it. Whereas when you're making like a transition from a Final Fantasy VII remake from Final Fantasy 15, you're doing a whole new engine. You got to make everything from scratch. So it's a whole different ball game. Speaking of legendary, though, should we finally get into, because we've been avoiding it a little bit too long here, should we get into the PlayStation 5 controller?
Yeah.
Because
It's phenomenal.
I've really want to like start deleting and blocking people for honestly continuously posting memes about this damn thing because it's already old.
I like the memes though. I don't know.
To
I
be
think
fair,
they're
though,
fun and
I
cute.
think they're fun. I think they're funny. I think they're lighthearted. And I think it's a nice distraction from what the fuck is going on in this world right now.
Yeah, but no offense, but only one person, and the person that created the meme of the controller actually being an Xbox controller wearing a tank top. It's like, guys, come on.
Oh,
now we're getting
I
a
thought that
little
was
silly here.
hilarious.
I like that one.
It gets to the point that, like, again, it's people are not doing it because they think it looks good. They're thinking it looks ugly. And I think anybody who thinks it looks ugly is forgetting that there are going to be probably by the time this console comes out a year later, like 5 different designs for it.
Well, here's the thing. For me, I thought the PlayStation controller is a great controller since the beginning. But with the PC that I got from Chris, the Xbox controller is ergonomically amazing and comfortable. So when PlayStation essentially mimicked the design, it looks like, I was like, you know what? Great idea, because it is ergonomically comfortable and a very well done controller. So go for it.
Well, it's just the idea that everybody flipped out the first time they saw it. And it's like, guys, I get it. You like black. You're a bunch of friggin' broody kids that like your black stuff. I get it. Whatever, fine. But it's the fact that, like, just a change and people are just flipping out at it. And that was the thing I said in the video where it's like, guys, it's a controller. It's not that big a deal. Like, it's different and it still looks good. It's just not the good that you wanted. So just admit it that you want black. And the people have kind of settled down now and just saying, like, I hope it comes out in black. There's no way it's not going to come out in black.
Yeah, it's totally gonna come out in black. And I think the
Like-
controller looks fine. I like it.
And again, guys, like it's a new generation. Like if they just do the same thing again, because that's what happened when the PS4 came out or when the PS3 came out. They all said, "Oh, it's just the same controller." It's like, so there's no pleasing you.
I remember
So
all the
again-
memes with the PS3.
It's just like the internet's being the internet. Like people are like, "Why are people so upset about the controller?" And I finally just said, "It's the internet. What do you expect?"
Yeah. I remember all the memes.
Who's having a slap fight in the background?
I have. That's not me. It's what the hell's going on there?
Oh, that's my fiance. She's in the kitchen. I don't know what she's doing.
Is
Hey,
she,
Alex.
Something.
is she like butt slapping a piece of raw chicken? What's going on?
Oh, no, actually she's got a hammer of Thor and she's trying to flatten chicken. She has one of
well
those
then.
hammers where you flatten chicken and meat with it. But it actually looks like Milner or whatever the hell however
Okay,
you say it.
so if we see on the news, lightning struck the Sherwood Gardens, we know what happened.
If
So-
the power goes out here, you know that it was Alex being Thor.
Dude,
Cool.
I don't think the lightning would just go out there. I think all of like the GTA would black out at that
Yeah,
point.
absolutely.
Well, it would make people realize how nice we have it because they're complaining because, it's so boring when we have every song, film, game, and television show at our disposal because of this thing called the internet.
yeah,
Well, you guys got that link I sent you earlier today that has essentially everything.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's just we'll get into that on another friggin' thing. I got to talk to you guys about something that, that I want to do in the
We'll
future
get to that
anyway.
off the show because I don't want anyone to...
Oh no, I have something I want to float to you guys. We'll talk about that later. So back to the controller. Like apart from the design, like let's be completely honest, this thing looks like a monster controller. Like this thing looks like it can be amazing.
I think
Yeah,
it's a
like-
great controller. I think it's going to be really good.
Yeah,
Like-
like if it's something that's compatible with PC, like they made with PS4, where they either come out with a dongle or it's just like Bluetooth for anything, I would 100% pick one up to see how I like it using
And
it
again,
on the PC.
the haptic feedback and the adaptive controllers, which means that if you hold like you're shooting a bow and arrow, you're gonna feel the tension in the actual buttons. You're gonna feel.
Yeah.
It's not just going to be rumble like any other controller does when it rumbles. It just rumbles in general. No, it's going to rumble in a very specific way that it's going to make it feel like you're actually holding like a recoil gun.
Yeah, 100%. It's going to be amazing.
And it's the same thing with like what we hear from Mark Kearney when he was doing his PowerPoint presentation about like 3D audio and things like that. And then the other thing that people were complaining about again was this built-in microphone the controller apparently has because they're like, oh, it's going to sound like shit. How do you fucking know?
Yeah.
But-
yeah.
Okay, so I'll tell you one thing. Before I got this mic, I tested the microphone on my laptop that was built in 2012.
Yeah.
The microphone audio was fucking incredible.
It's not bad.
In
And let's also
general.
keep in mind, as you see this on the webcam version, we talk into cell phones that don't sound nearly as great. So for
And
people
they
to say,
sound
oh,
great.
well, yeah, but if you listen to a phone call and you listen to this, it's clearly different. But people
Yeah,
are acting like
100%.
this
Yes,
microphone
agreed.
is going to sound like the cliche voice of a person playing on their shitty Xbox 360 microphone with it in its mouth and screaming into it. Like, no, they're not going to put in a built-in microphone in a controller if it's going to sound like just static. Like, the thing is going to probably be at least phone quality. And if it's at least phone quality for it to cost you nothing, if so you can at least send voice messages to people or just talk. It also has a built-in audio slot so you can put in a headset, so you're still good on that front.
Yeah, there's
just,
still the
again,
area for the headset if you want to use it.
It's again just
Exactly.
people. It's like it's the same thing when I watch people talking about how Resident Evil 3 is short, or how people are talking about there's filler in Final Fantasy VII's remake. It's like, guys, that's supposed to be a thing. The built-in mic is not going to be $300 headphone quality. It's going to be acceptable quality for what's in a fucking controller.
Yeah, and if you don't want to use it, don't use it. Like
It's
it's, only
not-
for somebody who doesn't have a headset.
Because most of the people that are
And-
complaining about it having a built-in microphone, they're going to buy a headset anyway. So what's the
thing is-
problem?
the thing is also, the controller is going to be close enough to you that the microphone will actually be pretty optimal.
And it might, for all we know, be something you can use in the game. It might get
Yeah.
used that way.
Or voice controls when you're on the main menu of the system.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that way you don't have to have
doors.
this little dongle or a camera that's sitting on the other end of the room. It's right there in your hands, so you don't have to buy another peripheral for it.
It's the Kinect, but built into your controller. For
Exactly. So, I mean, it's just one of those things where it's like, man, I think everybody is just so bored that they needed something to complain about because, again, it's the internet. That's what they do.
Yeah, that's the description of the internet. That's actually in the dictionary what it describes the internet to be.
I
And
got
they also-
three, I got 3 words for this. Bitches be crazy.
I thought you were just going to say Madden 3 times.
I honestly thought he was going to say Madden as well.
No. Bitches be
But
crazy.
the only other interesting thing is they haven't said what it does yet, but the share button is replaced by a create button. And what they at least said broadly is that they're going to have new ways for players to create epic gameplay content to share. So it seems like they're also going to enhance the way that we can release videos.
I think they need to do an Instagram option because
They probably will.
That's
Which
the
would
one
be
thing
simple.
I think is missing from PlayStation share, because you do YouTube or you do Switch, but you can't do anything else. But I think no, you can do Facebook as well. But I think the Instagram option needs to be there.
Oh,
Yeah, I
there's
don't
no
think
way
that
that
anybody
they'd be
has it
silly
yet.
not to now, or at least like have some way so you can just adapt it somewhere else.
Yeah, because I think right now it's Facebook and Twitter are the 2 common ones you can post directly to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and no, YouTube as well.
Well, yeah, for video. Yeah. I was talking screenshots, sorry.
Because the other day when I was playing Metal Gear, I did one headshot, and the bullet went through the first guy I shot and killed the other guy behind him. And I'm like, I'm sharing this shit because it was such an awesome shot that I got. It was 2 birds with 1 stone, literally. I'm like, yeah, I'm sharing this shit. It was just a cool thing. It's like, have you ever done the whole thing where you ended up shooting one person, but it killed the person behind them?
Sorry, repeat that again. I've zoned out for a second while I was trying to click something here.
Oh goddamn! You were playing Madden, weren't you?
Yes, exactly.
I knew it.
No. So I shared one video where I shot one guy in Metal Gear, but it went through his head and shot the other guy behind him. And killed him
I
as
see.
well. So I was like, okay, this is cool. So I thought that was just a fun thing to show.
Well, it's the
And
same
I
thing
was
too.
just
It's why I like that I can throw all my pictures of random crap, especially with trails where I keep throwing the most lewd stuff that comes across. It's nice to have that option. So it's been a godsend since it's been a thing now for PS4.
Yeah, I'm wishing that Steam updates theirs, because right now you can take screenshots and you can upload them to Twitter or Facebook, or just save them just in your Steam feed so it shows up in your friend activity. But on every other system now, you can take quick videos and post up a clip.
Yep.
Even on the Switch, if you press the screenshot button, it takes a picture. If you press and hold, it records for 30 seconds, and then you can do your edits and make it shorter or whatever. So, I mean, if the Switch can do it, why the hell can't PC, where it's instead of pressing the screenshot button, you press and hold it?
I guess the
and
expectation
record a
is you're
clip?
just using third-party software already.
Yeah, well, screw that. I don't want to always be using third-party software. My God, Steam. This is me being a baby, by the way, if anybody's wondering.
No, and you have.
So what you're saying is you're being the internet.
I'm being the internet, yes.
You're making valid points as well, because it's we want to share our content, we want to share our experiences, and you got to give us more options for it.
Even with Steam, there's no Spotify integration, which sucks.
That could be for copyright reasons with the musicians, though.
No,
'cause
it's playing in the background while you're gaming,
in
in
PS4, you can
play
listen to Spotify.
Yeah,
and,
you can just
and have
listen.
it in the background while you play a game. It just has it. It has it quieter than it would be with a game.
Because Windows just came out with a thing called the Game Bar, I think it is. Basically, I think it's what they have on Xbox, and they're just putting it on Windows. But when you press whatever button, it brings up an overlay, but it has all these widgets. So you can have Twitch there, where you press the overlay, it comes up, and you can just go live. It has Spotify. It has your frame rates and your computer's temperature can be there. You have friend lists you can put there. Whatever you want, you basically put in this overlay. So in the middle of a game, you press one button, this overlay comes up, you do what you need to do, press it, it goes away. It's kind of like when you're playing a PlayStation game and you press the PlayStation button and the little menu comes out from the side, same idea. But Steam just doesn't have anything like that because they haven't upgraded their overlays or their functionality in a while.
Well, they should look at doing that.
Yeah, they definitely should. I think they will now. They've started to do a lot of updates ever since the Epic Store came out because, competition is healthy and causes people to get off their ass and actually start doing stuff again.
Well,
you're actually starting to see games like free more often on Steam now that just happen to show up.
Yes.
Well, I'm not like if you guys ever go on Red Flag deals on the website, there's free games on Epic every week now.
Oh, dude, I have several sites that I pay attention to now. Like, there's,
I think it's 4 that's coming.
I know there's a site that I use called gg.deals, and that one basically does anything PC wise, and it gives you even a rating in terms of like how good the deal is.
Yeah, obviously, I hate you for giving me that site. I'm trying to have automatically no backlog, is 10. Not make it worse.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so sorry for giving you the chance to get awesome stuff for cheap or free. Sorry.
Honestly, dude, by the time we retire, it's all going to be video games and movies.
Oh, it already is.
We're not retired yet.
It's not going to change shit. Otherwise, I want to finish with something fun. So, obviously,
Madden.
I said fun. So,
you made it too easy, dude.
Obviously, the MLB season was supposed to start at the end of March, and obviously that's not happened for obvious reasons. But I figured because I saw a post about this. Just some shit. I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
So there's a thing every year called...
Is that why we're not doing this together in person?
Are you trying to piss me off by interrupting me every time
Very
with
much
nothing?
So.
Jesus. See...
Go on.
See, this is the thing. I kind of like this remote stuff, and at the same time, I don't, because it means like he just gets even worse now. But
go on.
So there's a thing that they do every year, and I think it's after the postseason is over, if I'm not mistaken. I didn't really look too deep into it, but it's called MLB Fan Fest. And what they'll do, or I think it's Slugfest. It might be one or the other. I'm mixing up the names. I apologize if I messed that up. But what they do is they'll have like this big thing where it's all the teams come together and do stuff, and fans can go. And one of the things that they do is every team brings over what they consider to be their flagship dish at their games. So I have the last year's list of all the best things that they brought to the table for people that could try. And it was, you pay a flat fee for the ticket and you can go and try every piece of food they got. So you can do crazy stuff. So what I'm going to do is there are 6 divisions in baseball, and I'm going to give you each division, their dishes, and we got to pick a winner for each division.
Cool.
So we're gonna end with our local division. So I'm going to start in the National League. So this is the National League East. There are 5 teams that we go through here. So there's the Atlanta Braves. They have what they call the Dagwood grilled cheese, which is ham, turkey, bacon, provolone, and American cheese, obviously on bread.
Amazing.
Holy shit, that's going to be tough to beat.
So after that, we have what is in Miami for the Marlins, and they have the Chicken and Bubble Waffle, which is a bubble waffle cone with crispy chicken bites smothered in pure maple syrup.
Damn.
So basically chicken and waffles in a cone.
Yeah.
The New York Mets, they have what they call the bases loaded hot dog, which is a hot dog with cheddar fondue, applewood smoked bacon, green onions on a potato roll, which all I have to hear is bacon cheese dog. Ooh. That's nice.
Yep.
You like
Philadelphia.
Bacon?
What? No. No.
Oh, okay.
By the way, Vish, do you like chicken wings?
Okay. Not at all.
Okay,
I
well,
hate chicken wings.
I just wanted to double check. And then I know Chris does because he ordered chicken wings the other day.
I need chicken wings right fucking now, man. Give them to me.
Yeah, me too. I need them.
Unsurprisingly, the Philadelphia Phillies do Philly cheesesteak. I know, shocking.
How?
Which is basically a Philly cheesesteak. I can't even really say it's anything different.
Doesn't make any sense to me at all.
No. So I don't even have to describe it. If you know what a cheesesteak is, that's exactly what it is. And the last thing is from the Washington Nationals, and they have what they call CU Tater, which is barbecue tater tots. So they're tater tots with pulled pork, creamy mac and cheese, onions, barbecue sauce, and scallions.
Jesus.
So have fun choosing between those 5.
So right now it's a tough choice between Washington and Atlanta, but I'm actually going to go with Atlanta right now.
I'm going with the tater tots.
Yeah, I don't remember which the team names were, but that weird grilled cheese sandwich at the beginning.
That
and
was
that
the
last
Atlanta
one
Braves.
was okay, there we go. And the Mac one at the end. I'm gonna go with the Mac one. The one with
So
the-
2 for the tater tots and 1 for the Dagwood grilled cheese. All right, so Atlanta and
Yeah.
Washington, you guys are successful.
yeah.
See,
The
the thing
national.
is with me, because I was a kid when I was very young when I saw the Blue Jays face the Atlanta Braves in the World Series. So I've always disliked Atlanta teams. So for me, this is the only thing I would ever want Atlanta to win on.
You got to be so happy Adam Trump isn't on here because he is a die-hard Braves fan.
Oh, I know, which I don't get. But anyways,
I can understand it. He grew up in the Maddox days, so that doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, that was the thing. They had a really good team for a long time.
Yeah. So as we go into the National League Central, we start with the Cubbies. They have what do they call the beer can chicken sandwich, which is a grilled beer can chicken. So it's probably a beer battered chicken fillet with bacon, tomato, lettuce.
Actually,
oh really?
A beer can chicken is where you actually you open a can of beer, shove it into a whole chicken, and then barbecue it.
Oh,
and the beer actually. I used to make it when I used to go camping. The beer starts to boil while it's under the heat, and as it boils out of the can, goes into the chicken from the inside out.
Does the chicken get you drunk?
No. Like the alcohol itself burns off, but the flavor of the beer actually goes into the chicken.
You know what? That would be actually really good because
it is really good.
Yeah, so
it's very carb taste of beer being put inside the chicken. That would actually be delicious.
Yeah, it's really good.
So it's that with bacon, tomato, lettuce, Dijon, and on a brioche bun.
Fuck yeah.
Cincinnati Reds, they have what is called the bulgogi beef egg rolls. So it's an egg roll with steak, carrots, onions, rice, cilantro, scallions, and a spicy gochujang sauce. The Milwaukee Brewers have what they call curveball frites.
Oh boy, this thing must be fattening as fuck.
What
whatever Milwaukee is doing? Because
it's in quotations. They say Johnsonville smoked sausage frites with chipotle aioli.
Oh,
so it's not nearly as bad as you probably thought it was going to be.
I don't know, man. Wisconsin itself is known for really fatty food.
Wow. I mean, sausage fries. Come on. The Pittsburgh Pirates, they have the pulled pork pierogi hoagie. Jeez, try saying that 3 times fast. Ooh.
That sounds delicious.
So it's pulled pork, barbecue sauce, potato and cheese pierogies, crispy onions on a hoagie bun.
That sounds delicious.
That just sounds pretty damn good. And then last but not least, the St. Louis Cardinals with the Four Hands Nachos, which is diced chicken, obviously tortilla chips, white cheddar cheese, pico de gallo, pickled jalapeno peppers, crumbled, I'm probably going to botch this name, Cojita cheese, sour cream and onions, so basically nachos.
Oh my god. Oh man.
So I'm definitely going with the pulled pork pierogi because that sounds fucking amazing.
I'm going with the Cardinals because the one before sounded fucking phenomenal, but then the Cardinals came up.
So you're a nacho king.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on board with that one too. I think that's mine.
So 1 for the Pirates, 2 for the Cardinals. All right.
The Pirates almost had me.
Yeah. The National League West, then, as we end off their side, the Arizona Diamondbacks have a churro dog, which is a churro with cinnamon sugar, a Long John donut, vanilla yogurt, chocolate caramel, and whipped cream. So basically diabetes.
Sounds great to me.
Colorado Rockies, most people will know of them for having their Rocky Mountain oysters, which is with breaded cowboy caviar, french fries, and a cocktail sauce.
Meh.
Yeah, I couldn't. Anything with oyster, like you said, the second the word oyster comes up, be like, and I'm out.
I heard oysters make you super horny, though.
Well,
I've had oysters, and it didn't just, make me super horny.
Did it make you hornier than usual, though?
I'm always hornier than usual.
Okay.
How do you quantify that?
Hornier than usual.
How would you quantify that?
Okay.
I just do.
Next.
The LA Dodgers have the smoked pork belly bao buns, which is steamed bao buns with candied pork belly, corn relish, sriracha aioli with a spicy mayo. The San Diego Padres, as I hear dishes in the background.
Damn it, Alex.
They have the Mahi Mahi Taco, which I don't know what Mahi Mahi is. I should Google that.
It's a fish.
I think it. Yeah, it is.
Oh,
actually.
it's a dolphin fish. Okay, that's what it says.
It's from Hawaii. I think it's very common to be.
I'm not going to go that deep into Wikipedia for it. So apparently it's some sort of fish. So there's a start. So I'm already out. But it's that specific fish with spicy chipotle, cabbage, tomatoes, onions, cheddar cheese, homemade white sauce. That sounds like jizz, doesn't it?
Very much
on
so.
on a corn tortilla. And then last but not least, the San Francisco Giants with the Cha-Cha Bowl. No, you don't have to do a dance when you eat it. Jerk chicken. Maybe you should. Jerk chicken, black beans, white rice, zucchini, onions, carrots, pineapple, cilantro, and a jalapeno pepper. I am way over on the churro dog. Way over on that.
Okay, so unfortunately, this one was the weakest division.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of fish, so I'm already out on a lot of it.
So the thing is, though, I hate to do this because I'm an admitted Cowboys fan, but I will go with the 49ers on this one.
So you're going with the Giants?
What did they have?
The 40. Yes, the Giants. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, we're talking baseball, you daft ass.
What was their meal?
Theirs was the Cha-Cha Bowl. That was like jerk chicken, beans, rice.
Oh, okay, yeah,
zucchini,
no,
and a
that's the
bunch
one
of
I want. I want.
Okay,
the
so
second one, yeah.
so I'm going the dessert, and you guys are going with the doing the Cha-Cha.
You're going with diabetes. That's what you're going with.
So it's like Bruce Almighty. I love the Cha-Cha. We go to the American League now. So first off, in the American League West, we start with the Houston Cheaters.
Wait. America! Fuck yeah.
You just interrupted my Houston Astros cheater joke, you piece of shit.
America! Fuck yeah.
So lick my nuts and suck on my balls. The Houston Cheaters, or the Astros if you want to be technical
for the record,
here.
The quote you're looking for is...
Why are you fucking interrupting me again?
It's suck my ass and lick my balls from American Pie 2.
No, I was doing Team America.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, it's
Go
lick
ahead.
my nuts and suck on my balls. I even messed that up, too.
Screw you guys,
Anyways.
I'm going home.
I am
here.
moving on now, you fucking asshole. So the Houston Cheater Astros have what is called the Frito Pie Corn Dog, which is a Frito battered hot dog with queso blanco, Texas chili, a hot dog bun, of course, pickled jalapenos, flour, eggs, and Fritos.
Sorry, what one's that called?
The Frito Pie Corn Dog.
Yeah, that's going to be mine. Just hands down, by the way.
We have the LA Angels. Actually, I need a drink of water because my fucking throat's like, okay, dude, take a break. The LA Angels, or the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, or the Anaheim Angels, or whatever the fuck they're calling themselves this week.
The Angels. Just fucking call them the Angels.
They have the Kung Pao Chicken Drumstick, which is obviously a drumstick with a sweet and spicy glaze, pan-fried cashews, and scallions.
Yum.
The Oakland Athletics, this is gonna fuck Vish over here. Brisket nachos. He's like, shit, beef. Which is nachos with beef brisket, cheese sauce, jalapeno peppers, sour cream, salsa, and cheddar cheese. The Seattle Mariners, I gotta Google this one again because I had to figure out what it was.
I can guarantee it's fish.
They're called toasted grasshoppers, and I need to do two things. I need to pronounce this right. I think it was Wakan. A Wakan cheese or something like that.
It was a Joker.
It was Awakan Chapu lines, which I need to Google again, because that doesn't sound like anything to me. So it's the rust-colored grasshoppers, usually served fried and seasoned with chili or lime, garlic. So it's actual grasshoppers? Ooh.
I'd eat it.
Ooh.
If they're crispy, I'd eat them.
Oh, dear. Well, then again, there are places to obviously eat alligator and whatever else. So apparently it's these grasshoppers with chili lime salt seasoning.
That would be like Florida and like the southern states, southeast states. That would.
I know, so it sounds strange that Seattle would do this. But last but not least, we have the Texas Rangers and the Dilly Dog, which is an Angus beef hot dog with dill pickle, cornstarch, corn dog batter, eggs, yellow and yellow mustard. So I don't like them, but I kind of have to go with the Astros because that Frito pie corn dog sounds fucking gross and delicious.
That's the one I'm going with.
I'm definitely going with LA's. I feel like what was the last one you mentioned? The last team in that division.
Oh, the Rangers?
Yeah, I feel like that thing would kill you.
What, just a hot dog with a dill pickle?
It's Texas.
Yeah, that hot dog probably is like 50 pounds.
Everything is bigger in Texas. I believe Chris went out with a girl whose dad went to Texas one time, and it was ridiculous the food they were serving.
I mean, why the hell not? I mean, if it's going to be that cheap and you get a shit ton, that sounds like a plan to me. I wish we had those portions.
Yeah, me too.
So 2 for the Astros, 1 for the Angels.
Yep.
So we go to the Central on this one. So we have the Chicago White Sox with, again, I'm probably going to mispronounce this, the Elote Nuggets, which are corn nuggets with queso, God damn it.
You're trying to say Hideo Kojima.
Yeah, I know. That's probably what I'm trying to say. So I think it's actually a misspell because the Cardinals have the same cheese by the looks of it, but it's Kajita, and it's in the White Sox thing. It's spelled Cotija.
Vegeta.
So let's just say it's some sort of cheese.
Dude.
So it's corn nuts with or corn nuggets with some sort of cheese, cayenne, mayo, cilantro, lime juice, garlic, salt, and pepper. Cleveland Indians, they call it the Fat Rooster.
Oh boy, this must be good.
So it's a spicy fried chicken breast with Frank's Red Hot Sauce. Vish is already like, oh shit.
Yeah, this wins already.
Buttermilk, habanero powder,
for me too.
Garlic, Cajun seasoning, white pepper, some sort of seasoning called Lawry seasoning, vinegar-based coleslaw, house-made pickles, and honey mayo on a milk bun.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ, yes.
Just save your energy for me and Chris.
I got to do it still.
Because this is like...
you know what? I'm going to Google it and put this in the Discord chat for you guys as well, because good Lord, this probably needs to be
seen
thing. Yes. In the meantime, talk about chicken wings.
Just
Who
talk
has
about
chicken wings?
Just talk about chicken wings, damn it.
I think I've had chicken wings 3 times this week.
What? You fucker. How?
Freshco had a sale of, oh my god, that burger is fucking beautiful.
That chicken sandwich is still beautiful.
So Freshco had a sale on frozen chicken wings. So I bought 4 packs, and I haven't been able to, I'm not going to have them every day because I don't want to be a monster and be sick of chicken wings. I'm not like,
That's
I'm
not
like
possible.
that.
Not possible.
So I had like 3
Honestly,
times.
if we could all afford it and we went to our bar every day and got chicken wings, you wouldn't get tired of it.
No.
They're that good.
Well, it depends.
Get very unhealthy.
I mean, you just get a different sauce just to change it up, but
your heart and lungs would get tired, but getting tired of the wings, no, not at all.
If you keep your calorie count decently, you should be okay.
Oh, fuck the calorie count. If we're doing this every day, we're not thinking about calories, are we?
Yeah, that's the thing. I feel like I'd have to not eat until I get to the bar. Like, I'd have to just not eat all day and just save it every time for when we get there.
No, you'd have to work out so you can have the extra room, and then like at dinner, boom, 1,000 calories, and you're good.
Do you know how long it takes to burn 1,000 calories during a workout?
No. I mean, like, if you burn like 400 calories in a workout.
Oh, I see. I see.
Like, you have a decent breakfast, you have a few snacks during the day, and then you work out, and then you have enough room for 1,000 extra calories.
Yeah, that's only like 7 wings, not even.
So speaking of 1,000 calories, we'll go back. The Detroit Tigers with the Coney egg roll. So it's an egg roll with chili, a hot dog, and mustard with onions. Which I'm like, ooh. Chili dog and an egg roll.
I mean, I love chili dogs. They're one of my favorite foods.
So do you know who else does? Sanic.
Yeah, I know. That's actually who got me on it.
The hedgehog.
The Kansas City Royals. 8. Oh. Go ahead, finish your story.
I was just going to say, when I was 8, Sonic had been eating so many chili dogs in these fucking cartoons that as soon as I saw one, I was in Florida, and the hotel we're staying at had a hot dog cart, like on purpose.
Oh, geez, you're getting high quality there.
Chris, what was the one we decided on this division?
The Rooster.
The Cleveland Indians with the Fat Rooster. I'm not done yet, too.
No, because I need the washroom. I'll be back.
All right, well, then I guess I'm finishing without you. So I'm assuming you're going to go with the
All
Indians.
good.
Name of your sex tape.
Very much so.
So because I'm not gonna go crazy and let this go on and on and on. The Kansas City Royals, oddly enough, Kansas barbecue is a barbecue burger. Who knew?
Weird. Who knew that?
So it's basically a burger with cheese, onion rings, pulled pork, and Kansas barbecue sauce, which sounds amazing. Except for
That
the
sounds
onion ring.
delicious.
And then last but not least, the Minnesota Twins have Tony O's Cuban sandwich, which is a lemon mojo pulled pork with ham, pickles, Swiss cheese, Dijonnaise on Tolera bread.
I mean, that also sounds very good.
See, I'm not a hot chicken guy, especially with the coleslaw. So the Fat Rooster is kind of out of my ballpark, for lack of a better pun.
Yeah.
But I would definitely go with the Coney egg roll, because a chili dog and an egg roll sounds fucking amazing.
Yeah, that would be really good. I honestly would eat all of these things. This has been a really good division here of food.
Yeah, like even like, I guess I could mess around with it. I mean, Frank's Red Hot Sauce, because they're adding it with buttermilk. Oh fuck though, they put fucking Cajun powder and habanero powder on it too. That thing is gonna burn me.
Oh yeah, it's gonna burn the butthole. That's what she said.
But yeah, see, now I gotta wait for this prick. So, geez, what's the best food you can think of in a video game?
In a video game, anything from Final
back
Fantasy.
and did you mention the new division yet or no?
No, we were trying to talk about video game food because we were trying to kill for it. So let's just go cup noodles from Final Fantasy 15 and be done with it.
Yep, that's exactly it.
Yeah, delicious. I really hope that is the last thing I eat before I die.
Perfect. So the last thing you'll actually eat before you die could be potentially one of these 5 things in the American League East, which is our home division. The Jays are at the bottom, so I'll finish with them. But at the top, we have the Baltimore Orioles with the Stuggy's Crab Mac and Cheese Dog, which is exactly what it is. It's a hot dog with mac and cheese and crab meat.
I just
Speaking
can't do it.
of seafood,
Also, I'm not a big fan of seafood. But go ahead.
the Boston Red Sox have the hot lobster roll, which is fresh Maine lobster with lemon, mayo, chives, and on a butter grilled brioche bun.
Ooh, sounds good too.
The New York Yankees have a shrimp po' boy, which is Cajun fried shrimp, lettuce, tomato, and pickle. And then we get to the Tampa Bay Rays, beer braised short rib grilled cheese. Budweiser braised short ribs, cheese, caramelized onions, horseradish cream on a sourdough bun. And then last but not least, Toronto Blue Jays, Jane Doe chocolate chip cookie dough.
Oh, okay, you know what? I was going to choose Blue Jays anyways, but there's absolutely no contest there in general.
It's basically cookie. Like, it doesn't even tell you, like, cookie dough is something. It literally just tells you what the recipe for cookie dough is. It's flour, salt, butter, sugar, milk, vanilla, semi-sweet chocolate chips. So basically cookie dough.
There is no debate on that one.
Yeah, I think I'd have to take the cookie dough.
And we're not all being homers, but legit, you can't beat cookie dough.
Yeah, you can't beat it.
You can't. And even, like, now at the theater, they have, like, a vendor that serves cookie dough in general.
So I'm going to ask you guys then. So if I recall correctly, you guys all agreed on actually everything except for like one thing. So you guys have to choose between the Dagwood grilled cheese, the beer can chicken sandwich, the nachos, the cha-cha bowl, the fried pie corn dog, the kung pao chicken drumstick, or the Fat Rooster. Which one would you take then? Because I mean, the cookie dough.
Fat Rooster.
Cookie dough's dessert.
So I actually had this talk with my cousins who were trying out keto because of me. And I told them that I would rather choose the sweet tooth over the carbs. So I'm going to go with the cookie dough.
Well, no. We're saying the cookie dough's dessert. So choose your dinner.
Yeah. I was going to say Fat Rooster for dinner and then cookie dough for dessert.
What are my options for dinner again?
You picked, if I'm not mistaken, the Dagwood grilled cheese, the Four Hands nachos, the cha-cha bowl, the kung pao chicken drumsticks, and the Fat Rooster.
What's the Fat Rooster again?
The Fat Rooster was that crazy spicy fried chicken breast sandwich.
Okay, I'd probably... You know what? I'll choose that.
Okay, so I would probably then, looking at what I did... Ooh. I also chose 2 desserts, so that's kind of shitty. But, You know what? I probably go with the tater tots from the Nationals, just because it doesn't seem like it would be too over the top, so it's something that I could eat and then not feel as guilty for eating cookie dough afterwards. You guys are gonna eat that fat rooster and be like, I need something sweet to balance out the burning that's going on right now.
It's so hot, I need something sweet. Perfect. Then I get the life complete.
Chris would probably, I'd be like, was that it?
Yeah, well, you're the suicide sauce guy, so
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So honestly, that's
Chris
gonna
likes
do
that
it.
suicide sauce though.
I do like spice, but
It's
it
not-
definitely does.
I don't think it would kill me if I took a bite, but I would just be like, I'm just gonna stick to my lane.
Oh no, I love getting spicy food.
I think you'd like the taste of it, but I don't think you'd handle too much.
I'd
of
probably enjoy the taste. I just wouldn't enjoy the consequences of it.
The consequences aren't so bad. You get used to it.
So with that being said, guys, that was a nice end. We'll skip the 2-minute advertisements for another day because we're already at an hour 45, and we are gonna take a break and then go shoot another round of Left 4 Dead.
Heck
it.
yeah, we
Yeah.
are.
Are we
So,
going 1 or 2 tonight?
One.
I don't know. We'll see what happens. So if we suck for the first time, we'll know.
Are we gonna actually play Madden tonight or not?
That is never going. That is again. That is a Patreon thing that would have to happen, or this is us doing like
that's
some
like
charity.
we've raised thousands of dollars.
This
and we
is
have to pay
5
people
years
back
down the
by
road
playing Madden.
when we do a charity stream.
Yeah.
Like
Heck
we
no.
are way away from that.
I'll tell you guys a funny story after we're done recording.
So then
Deal.
don't talk about it on the podcast so I can end the show.
Okay.
Jesus Christ. We're going to have to see we can't even sit down at the bar and discuss stuff now. So that gets taken away from things.
It really does.
Yeah, it's stressful, but I mean, it only makes the next bar visit when everything goes back to normal that much better when it happens.
Oh my God, Chris and I are gonna like have a 24-hour hangover the day that happens.
So
Who says
basically,
I've
we're
left the bar within that 24 hours?
So basically, we have to make sure it's a
Fair
day
enough.
that it's not in the middle of the week. It would have to be a Friday.
I will call in sick or quit or whatever I need to do.
No, we're fucking celebrating the day of no isolation.
I mean, I could also just take a vacation day like a normal person.
You know, guys, what we could do is literally all book a day off and say, okay, guys, we're going there right when it opens for lunch. We'll go do something else. We'll come back for dinner. We'll go do something else. We'll come back for a late night snack.
Deal.
You know, I've done that before. I'm totally okay. And you know, I'm gonna make it so ridiculous because of YOLO. I'm gonna fucking go there wearing a Thor costume just because YOLO.
Okay, I guess. So I guess with that being said, guys, thank you so much for checking out the podcast. So if you are watching this on YouTube, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. If you're listening to this on any audio platforms where you have the ability to rate us, please do so. Give us a high rating, please. I think we've earned it just because we talked about food for so long.
Yeah, and not ate
Because
it.
I am starving and we just
also-
talked about food for 30 minutes. We deserve a like for that.
And also, friends, as usual, stay safe.
Oh, God damn it. But otherwise, share the video with all your friends and comment if you can as well. You can also reach us on our various social medias. If you're watching on YouTube, they're right on the screen there for you. So with that being said, guys, one more time, thank you so much for checking out the VCR podcast, and we will see you on the next one. So take care.